So this video here is going to be on the birthplace of Helen Keller. Amazing, amazing woman. If you ever seen the movie Miracle Worker, it kind of tells a story. I kind of wish they'd make an updated version of that, because that movie's pretty old, but it's still pretty good. Still pretty good. It tells a lot of story. Helen Keller, you know, everybody knows who Helen Keller is, and everybody knows she was deaf and blind. Just think about that for a second. Imagine trying to learn how to speak, how to read, if you're deaf and blind. And that is just, it really is amazing. And when you'll see in the video at the well that we go to, that's, to me, that was like the biggest part, because that's where she learned, you know, she knew what water was, but she learned how to communicate water. And then she learned 30 words that day. I mean, her mind was just so ready to learn. And that happened at 7. And by the time she was 10, she was reading, you know. Anyway, amazing story. Check out, this is her birthplace. I'll tell you a little bit about it in the video, and appreciate you watching. This place is called Ivy Green. It is the birthplace of Helen Keller. I'm going to read the biography they have on the website for this location. At a plain black well pump in a small southern town of Tuscumbia, Alabama, one of the world's greatest miracles took place. It began one bright spring day in 1887. Puffy white clouds floated overhead on a background of blue, while birds fluttered through the oaks and maples, and flowers burst forth from the fertile soil in an array of colors, all unheard and unseen by a pretty girl of 7. Standing at the totally blind and deaf Helen Keller's side was a young woman, Annie Sullivan. Miss Sullivan was steadily pumping cool water into one of the girl's hands while repeatedly tapping out an alphabetic code of 5 letters into the other. First slowly, then rapidly. The scene was repeated again and again as young Helen's painstakingly struggled to break her world of silence. Suddenly, the signals crossed Helen's consciousness with a meaning. She knew that WATER meant the cool substance flowing over her hand. Darkness began to melt from her mind, like so much ice left out on a sunny March day. By nightfall, Helen had learned 30 words. Helen Adams Keller was born a healthy child on June 27, 1880, to Captain Arthur H. and Kate Adams Keller of Tuscumbia. At the tender age of 19 months, she was stricken with a severe illness which left her blind and deaf. At the age of 6, the half-wild, deaf, and blind girl was taken by her parents to see Dr. Alexander Graham Bell. Because of her visit, Helen was united with her teacher, Annie Mansfield Sullivan, on March 3, 1887. After Helen's miraculous breakthrough at the simple well pump, she proved so gifted that she soon learned the fingertip alphabet and shortly after to write. By the end of August, in 6 short months, she knew 625 words. By age 10, Helen had mastered Braille as well as the manual alphabet and even learned to use the typewriter. By the time she was 16, Helen could speak well enough to go to preparatory school and to college. In 1904, she graduated cum laude from Ratcliffe College. The teacher stayed with her through those years, interpreting lectures and class discussions to her. Helen Keller, the little girl, became one of history's remarkable women. She dedicated her life to improving the conditions of blind and deaf-blind around the world, lecturing in more than 25 countries on the 5 major continents, Wherever she appeared, she brought new courage to millions of blind people. Her teacher, Anne Sullivan, is remembered as the miracle worker for her lifetime dedication, patience, and love to a half-wild Southern child trapped in a world of darkness. And this here's the spot. This is the well, the actual place where where Helen Keller figured out what Annie Sullivan was trying to tell her, that the stuff running over her hand was water, and was able to communicate it. And then just an explosion happened in her mind, trying to learn everything she could learn from that point forward. And this is the spot where it happened. She lived a long life. She died in her sleep on June 1st, 1968, at her home, Arkin Ridge, located in Easton, Connecticut, a few weeks short of her 88th birthday. A service was held in her honor at the National Cathedral in Washington, D.C. Her body was cremated, and her ashes were placed there next to her constant companions, Annie Sullivan and Polly Thompson. She was buried at the Washington National Cathedral in Washington, D.C. And years ago, I went on the tour at the National Cathedral, so I'm sure I saw where she was laid to rest, but I don't have video of that. So that's the Helen Keller birthplace, where a lot of the stuff happened. That one incident at the well that started it all, right there. Pretty cool. Pretty cool to be there. Just amazing story. It really is. I think we all know the story, but we kind of brush over it. It's really amazing. Anyway, I think, thanks for watching. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and see you next time.